to our YouTube.
Okay. Okay. This discussion, the topic of our discussion today is thinking smart is not enough. How to educate our children for recognizing the value of moral. And today, our discussion will be moderated with the well-known speaker, Ms. Zulfa Ilma Nuriana from Blitar, right? Or not? Yeah. And we have a few of regulation today in our discussion, and hopefully the whole of you will follow this. The first, please mute your microphone if you don't want to speak up. Secondly, you are not able to give your statement if the moderator doesn't allow you to speak up. Third, focus on the topic of discussion. Fourth, the hosts are capable of cutting your statements if the moderator thinks that that's enough. Fifth, encourage to be active in discussion. Remind in yourself that the whole of us are speaker, and please to practice English, particularly your speaking ability in English, to be much better again in this discussion. And the sixth, raise hand are the notification of participants. So please, to the whole of participants, try to find the raise hand button. Please press the raise hand button. Okay, I can see Mr. Aji, Fabrian, Muhsinur Alim, Michael Kanda, Jacob. Please try to raise hand. Eka Dharmayuda, try to raise hand. So the moderator can recognize you that you want to speak up. And then, okay, Mr. Alex, Fatika, Rizky, Debbie, please try to raise hand in participants button. Rizky, Debbie, Asia, try to raise hand. Firmanda, Yaya, please try to raise hand in participants button. Do you face any problem to raise hand in the participants button? Firstly, try to find the participants and then press the raise hand. Participants, and then there is a tombol or the button of raise hand. So when you raise hand, you will be recognized by the moderator, and the moderator will choose you to speak up in this discussion. If you don't do that, the moderator cannot recognize you. So maybe you want to speak up, you have a huge eager to speak up, but the moderator do not know you that you want to speak up in this discussion. So please to raise hand if you want to speak up. And then, okay, I think it's enough. So please lower your hand and we will begin our discussion. So for our moderator, for Ms. Zulfa Ilma Nuriana, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ahmad. Hello, everyone. My name is Zulfa Ilma Nuriana. You can call me Zulfa. I'm from Blitar. Okay, what about topic in today's discussion? We will talk about is thinking smart is not enough. How to educate our children for recognizing the value of moral. Next. What is moral? Moral are things that conform to the generally accepted ideas of human action, what is good and what is bad. What anyone answer this question?
Miss Zulfa, can you see the participants button? Because a few people has raised hand. Seems like Mr. Eka
Okay, I think
Dharmayuda, Alex Hamza, or Rizky.
choose Mr. or Mrs. Reski. Mr. or Mrs. Reski, can you unmute?
Hello,
Hello, this
I'm Mr.
are you Mr. or Miss?
I'm a man.
Okay. Can you give opinion about what is moral?
I think skip first. Maybe another person to answer or to give reason. My voice is clear or not?
Yeah, it's clear.
Clear, clear. So clear as shampoo.
Okay, skip. I'm dinner now. I'm still eating.
Okay. Maybe other participant to answer it. Mr. Eka, can you give opinion about moral?
Okay, thank you. I think moral is like a principle or your standard value from individuality or community to achieve something that maybe their goals or their achievement to live by something like that. So I think moral is like a principle or the standard value uh, that live in each that their goal be. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Eka. Um, Maybe Mr. Alex to give opinion about moral. Hello, Mr. Eka. Mr. Alex.
Yes. Good morning. Good evening.
Good morning. Good evening. Sorry.
Yeah. Moral. Yeah. Moral is attitude, etika, and other your attitude. That all.
Okay. Next PPT. Hello. Okay.
Aji and Jacob is raised hand.
Okay, Mr. Aji to give opinion about it.
Oh, wait. Is that me?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay, sorry. My connection is a bit unstable. Sorry. It's I'm lagging. Okay. Morality or something that call it. When we can see through psychological sense, we can see there is a id, ego, and superego. Superego is intersubjective linking that determines our what is good, what is not, what is ethic that we should use, what the behavior that is appropriate in our society, and so many more. So moral, based on that definition, it is so broad definition from Sigmund Freud. That is interlink of standard ethic between one to another person, which is, for example, had been agreed by one community for agreeing on, and then it should be applied through norms, whatever, through regulation. What is it? That is reflecting the humanity of human ethics of that society itself, of the level of society's level thinking about which is this is correct or this is wrong or something like that. Maybe there is the broad definition of moral as a what is that? On community basis, super ego. But when we define it through personal subjection, ego, it will be so relative, depends on your preferences. When you are so Buddhic, when you're so religious man, for example, you may have a different morality when, for example, for people that are atheists, they are something like that, secularists, I mean. So, but it's in macro level, yeah, that is what I've mentioned before. That is morality. Oh, thank you.
Good afternoon from Mr. Adi. Can I next PPT? Okay. What is ethics? Ethics are rules regarding attitude, behavior, and action of humans who live in society. Mr. Alex opinion about moral same with ethics, but in mean not same. So anyone give opinion about ethics different with moral, or before you can give opinion differently ethic with moral, give opinion what is ethic, what do you think of is ethic. Okay, I choose Mr. Alex. So Mr. Alex give opinion moral same with ethic. Can you unmute your speaker or microphone?
Yes,
Hello,
Chris.
Mr.
Yeah,
Okay, I listen your.
yeah. What what is the question?
What is ethic? Because your opinion, what is moral, same, same with ethic. So I want to know your opinion about ethic.
Ethic. Wait. Uh, ethic. I think ethic is about, yeah, maybe standard or uh, principle about the wrong the wrong and the true about something. Like example, like a professional. If when he work, he has a standard about he work. Like example, accountant in the working, he have a ethic about the job. Like example, they have to be they have they have they have to have integritas, capable, and other. I think this is about ethic. Yeah, that all.
Okay, Mister. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
As a participant, I choose Mr. Jacob. Maybe Mr. Jacob give um
Uh, yes. Okay. From if we look at the definition from Google and from the experts, ethic is a set of moral principles. So what does moral principle means is that morals is a part of ethics. So if we compare it to a pie, ethic is a pie, and morals is the taste of the pie. For example, you're making an apple pie, and then morals is the apple.
Oh,
So what we mean by ethic is that a set of laws that not laws though, but a set of customs that reflects your morals. So when we see as an ethics society, we also see that what values does the societies take, and what values does the society conduct on their daily basis. For example, if we could see their ethics like an Indonesian, for example, we give by our right hand, and then we do the we lower down our body when we are walking in front of an adult, or we shake hands and we put their hands on our head, and that reflects uh, our values of respect on that society, reflecting us Indonesian as a respectful people, which is pretty much could be seen from anyone who observes our society. And yeah, I think that's all for ethics by me. Thank you.
I want listen other opinion for Mr. Eka.
Okay, I think I agree with Jacob on the definition about about ethics, but I think for my perspective, I see ethics is a tool that we use, every generation use, every people use, or every community use to prove a morality, to prove how. For example, there is a moral that say if we haven't married, then we can't have sex, something like that. So ethics, ethics is used to prove that the morality, is it good or is it bad. So I think ethics is, it's like a tools to prove, is it what we do, is it good or is it bad, something like that. So I think it's different. It's like the moral is the result from what we want to find, or what we try to discover, something like that. For example, that a lot of people, maybe if we have a bad habit, if we naughty as a kid, and then they say to us that we don't have ethics. But actually, ethics, in my perspective, from what I know, everyone have their own ethics to prove the morality. Is it what our parents or our old generation do? Is it good for from our perspective or not, from our opinion or what, something like that. So ethics mean it's like a tools to 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 discover or to make a new kind of moral, something like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Eka. I want to listen opinion from Mr. Uchin. Mr.
Okay.
Uchin, can you listen my speak?
Yeah. Or
Time is
okay, am
yours.
I audible? Okay, thank you. So tonight's discussion is really interesting. I how the difference between moral and ethic. I thought uh, the two of them are the same previously, but actually moral is a part of ethic, like Mr. Jacob said. And what is ethic actually comes from a philosophical term that brings its answer the Immanuel Kant. So what can I do? So what can I do? Bring to the knowledge, bring the field in philosophical subject that axiology, and axiology divided into two. The first is ethic, and the second is subject is the knowledge that we'll study. We'll learn more deeply about how human behave in social term. It could be whether is it good or bad, and I also agree with Mr. Aji said, like sometimes agree and disagree, wrong and right and wrong is really subjective. It's not different orders that to be implemented, and it's like agreement. It's like agreement in the society. So if you're doing the time, so your society will judge you. This is the wrong thing, and if you're doing like if you're doing this thing, it is a good. So good or bad is depend on the culture, also, and depend on the custom of their society. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Welcome. Maybe I choose Mr. Faith or Mrs. Faith. Hello, are you in room?
Yes, is it my turn?
Yes. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. So, yeah, I will open the video first. This is me. Okay. So, yeah, talking about the moral and ethics is something quite captivating in discussion because moral and ethics always be the one to consider which one is bad, which one is good, which one deserve for more attention, which one deserve to be punished. We balance, we judge people based on the moral uh, rather than weighing down more on their intelligence. So in my perspective, the difference between moral and ethics probably moral seems more general and ethics more individual. So moral can be something that is agreed by large of people, and I do agree that it can be something perceived as unwritten agreement from so many people around the world, or for some people, for some villagers, from some citizens in one country. It can vary one another. So based on the individual perspective, it means ethic will be seen as something that differentiate people one another. It means uh, ethic is the way how people deliver their personality. But moral is like on the name or on behalf of the culture. So it's a little bit complicated to depict it in some words. But overall, I can say that moral has related to a bigger population and strongly related to culture. But ethics, in contrast, something more individual, something more private, something more specific related to the personality of someone. I think that's for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Faith. Okay, this is last opportunity for other participants to answer what is ethic. Mr. Reski, can you give opinion about ethic? Hello, Mr. Reski? Can you listen me? Okay, not respond. Next PPT. Okay, all participants know about moral and ethics. Now, what is moral education? Moral education, my opinion is education that can treat humans like humans. Maybe other participants give opinion about moral education. Hello? Maybe other participants. I will choose Mrs. because our time is Mr. So I will choose Mrs. Debbie. Can you listen me? Hello, Mrs. Debbie. Okay, not respond again. What is moral education? I want to Mr. Aji, maybe. Can you give opinion about it?
Okay, perhaps I just give my radical suspension of disbelief about this. Uh, Now we are living in the limitation of age when we can see it. For example, our lifespan is around 63, 64, 670, right? When you can see the statistic in this word. By the way, when I've been reading the books from Yuval Noah Harari, So it is possible for us increasing our time lifespan better. It could be we can achieve 150 or even 200 years when we can when the technology and knowledge for us now is increasing. I mean, growing faster, and then can create like renewing our organ based on some simulation from genetic modification or somewhat like that. So I think when we can see at that case exactly, that is like amoral, I guess. There is no positive point that we can achieve. That is now maybe people say, "Oh, what the hell? Is that possible?" Or maybe they will say, "Oh, it is like you are not receiving the faith of your God or whatever is it." So because of the what is that definition? Not definition. I mean, based of foundation of moral itself. It is subjective. It is always evolving every time. So I guess education about morality, it is nonsense to me. So I prefer for uh, have no moral education at all, except for imposing.
We lost
Oh, sorry.
connection. Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. My signal is lost. Oh, from where I was saying, from what I was saying about, I forgot. Perhaps morality is nonsense for me. Okay. Yeah, because our human civilization level is always evolving every time. So the moral value itself will be evolutionary also. So it is like a flexible movement to have more standard of moral, and then in the end of it, we have no telos on this certain situation. That is what maybe we teach about morality right now. It will be obsolete later. So it is flexible, it's always changing. So I think teaching about morality is not sense except for some certain of behavior, for example, that will bring demerit for human life. For example, killing people, even though when we can see it clearly, it is debatable about, for example, punishment of killing people. But beside of that, maybe it should be prohibited because it is not the right of human to end other human's life. It is the decision of the God. But what we can do is sharing or spreading the new standard level of human values, I guess, that could be benefiting all of humankind. Maybe that is my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Aji. Okay, I want to, Mr. Jacob, can you listen me?
Yeah. Okay, let me just lower my hand real quick. Okay, so what is my opinion on moral education? So, what is a moral education is an education which teaches moral as per its definition. But yeah, I kind of agree on Mr. Aji where moral education is actually pretty subjective and really personal because first of all, not everyone get the moral education the same with other people because as I observe, uh, the source of our moral education, the first one is from our parents and our close family. And from our parents, we could see what is good and what is bad. And the second layer will be our surroundings and our environment in that time. and and both of those layers really affects our perspective on what is moral. some people could say that moral is when you do all your religious rules or your religious customs, and then um, or people might just say morals is just loving each other. People have different perspective on what is moral based on their environment and their family, from where they got their moral education. And yeah, if we look at it a bit more further, some people who have moral education, they tend to be more, they could accept people more by what they are. For example, a modern man with a high moral education, um, they they are intended to respect people no matter what their race, their orientation, their gender, or etc. While some of them, the other ones could not, maybe could not accept another people based on their religion or maybe their orientation or maybe their gender. See, that education really determines what we think about arts and what do we think about ourselves on the long run. For example, if we know what our moral standards are, when we get old and we have kids, we will pretty much think that, oh, I think I need to teach my kids this way, or I think I need to teach my family this way, and I need to implement these values on them. And um, I think moral education really reflects what you are when you are socializing with other people. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jacob. Abby and anyone to answer? No, yet. Maybe Mr. Fait again to answer it.
Yeah, thank you so much for the time given. Zulfa, 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 it means near, close. So I hope we can get nearer one another, inshallah. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, in regard to moral education, some of you has already interpreted about moral and also interpret education itself. So I believe that moral education can be considered something so urgent to be taught to children because uh, unless they are taught to properly keep their attitude in attention, they will likely do something that can be considered as harmful toward others. And that's why I believe that giving them the general sense of moral is something important. For example, like the idea of loving other people, the idea of respecting elder, the idea of give more affections towards someone younger than you, the idea of not hurting, not punishing others, and not judging others. This is some general idea. For example, like humanity itself. So I believe that moral education, for some cases, have been finished from some educational institution because they believe that the idea of science and knowledge is much more reliable and acceptable in the eyes of current demand of society. And this is what we get because we lack of moral uh, educated toward our younger generation. They only focus on working and reaching their goals no matter what, like probably the idea of capitalism. As long as it's profitable to me, then I'll do no matter what. Yeah. Even though I need to harm other people, I don't give a damn about that. That is this is the idea of Uncle Sam. And we, as the literally eastern part of world citizens, we believe that entangled to our ethics, moral is um, much more um, hard for us since we as the Eastern people would like to, limit our attitude. Even for some Japanese people, they believe that uh, the name itself, I mean, Jowo, is like kind of understanding others. Means like if you don't understand others, you are not Jowo. So, so yeah, basically this is something important that differentiate uh, one interpretations of moral itself, and that's why I can literally connect the interpretations of moral with culture because it's strongly connected to one another. I think that's what.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jacob, and so completely your opinion. And sorry, maybe I can next PPT. Okay. What do you think about sarcastic education? In Indonesia, maybe Sabang to Merauke or all participants in night discussion know about sarcastic education, and I want to listen your opinion. So your opinion, our participant is different. Maybe needs to answer about sarcastic education. Hello, ladies. Can you give opinion about sarcastic education? Sarcastic, in my opinion, about is the teacher give punishment to children because the children so not not reflect moral good. Maybe any ladies to explain. Okay, not responding for ladies. So I want listen from Mr. Adi. Then it's your.
Okay, perhaps the sarcastic education that you've been mentioning about this, it is about the micro level. It is about peer-to-peer case, about low-level education, still like I mean, senior high school or junior high school or even elementary school. But I just want to share my experience about the sarcastic education here. I would say about the definition broadly and then go to the exactly the case. So What I've been experiencing, for example, our education system had been like giving an indoctrination for students. When you're having different opinion with your stupid lectures, you would enable to have grade A. Maybe you have grade C or A, for example. Is that real? In the case exactly, when I give my opinion about, for example, I'm an economist giving opinion about financial crisis, financial instability hypothesis, and then MMT, and then I give a great example of T account balance sheet. Even the lecture itself enable to put loans from banks on asset side. They're putting it on liability side. How could it be? That lecture unable to see that is clearly. But after they know that they are wrong, they still believe on that theory that have been taught to them, and then judge me that I'm still wrong because I'm different opinion with them, and then I've been having grade B or C or D. And then another one, when you want to publish international journal through mainstream system, when you're unable to fulfilling that case, I mean that prerequisites that is provided that as a regulation on there, you're unable to publish it. And then when you're a lecturer, you will have a problem for example, like validating your own jobs about that. But the question is, all of the prerequisites, for example, in economic terms in here, they are wrong at all. They are wrong. They are neoclassical. They are neoliberal. They should be following the rule of IMF and World Bank system. And that is totally awful, but we should follow that. When you're not following it, maybe you will be kicked out by your university. And oh my God, shit, I should tell you. And it is a traumatic condition, right? When the knowledge enables to move in freely way, and then it gets trapped by the system, and the system is indoctrinating you for doing something wrong always. And then how could you have a real freedom of your life, of the society's life? Moreover, when you're an academician, you're unable to achieve the correct education, the correct knowledge, and then you cannot spread it to the whole of society because the system is imposing you for doing something wrong. And then, yeah, the evidence like this: inequality is increasing, poverty is increasing, unemployment is increasing. That is the case of those problem, indoctrination, sarcastic system that is happening in our country. Maybe that is my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ajit. You maybe other participant give explain like Mr. Ajit.
Who? Me? Me again? I'm done.
No, I will listen other participant explain like you. Okay, Mr. Faid, to give opinion or explain again sarcastic education.
Another thank you. I say to you, thank you. Okay, so yeah, regarding sarcastic education, it's something interesting. Usually, I try to do this when I consider someone too foolish or it's so hard to teach them, and that's why I try to how to say menyindir. Okay, menyindir. Yeah, sarcasm is different than looking down. Uh, Even it can be even worse than looking down on someone, because you literally praise someone based on their negative image or negative content they have, negative attitude, or everything that is considered negative. So I can say that sometimes sarcasm or sarcastic education can work. For example, like when you say to your when your dad told you, just go, yeah, just go. It's literally a command, but it contained uh, another different type of command. It means please don't go, or there you go, I will give you something. Okay, I will punish you, for example. Sarcasm can be shaped and formed in different types and different places. And I believe the effectiveness of being sarcasm relies so much on the appropriateness of the time and place, and knowing the psychology of the student themselves. Because if we don't do it properly, it will only create such a big gap in the relations between us, between the one who want to, the one who we want, the one whom we want to give them advice. Okay, it's a little bit hard to connect again, to connect anymore, because when somebody look down on you, we feel like you want to distance yourself from them, right? Okay, so sarcasm education basically is not recommended. Yeah, probably we can do it to literally our close friend. So sometimes being sarcasm is acceptable, tolerable, and it is a common thing to do one another. But based on the closeness, okay, the proximity between our friends really matter in this kind of thing. Otherwise, we are going to be seen by other people as rude people, as someone that didn't really consider or concerns to what others feeling, something like that. I think that's for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Not other participant to give opinion. So I agree with opinion Mr. Adi, Mr. Faid, because sarcastic education is not recommended, because sarcastic education not um, not give motivation for children to grow up, and give limits to creativity, to liberty, maybe just uh, just give motivation to children, not sarcastic education or punishment. Give example, good attitude, good moral, so to children can have fun to learn, to to learn more, to more creativity, to other. So next PPT, Mr. Ahmad. Okay, this is co-ask or question from me for all participants in night discussion. How to educate our students for recognizing the value of moral. So, anyone to answer this question? Okay, I choose Mr. Jacob to answer it. Time is yours.
So if I have a kid, I will educate them with a statement, only a statement that there are another being around you that have their own standards and they matter too. So you need to respect that. In my opinion, that's the most basic and one of the most important thing if you wanna if you wanna if you want to introduce your children to morals and the values of morals because when we see about morals what Mr. Fritz say that it's more of a custom or culture thing and what I'm trying to say is every culture is teaching us that we need to appreciate each other. And even though there is no culture in Western countries, they still appreciate each other. For example, many of them still appreciates some homosexuals or bisexual or any queers. They and then some other people in the Eastern also are being teach to actually value people as much as you want to value them. And every religion and customs teach that too. So yeah, before I'm going to introduce my kids into value of moral, I need to introduce them and introduce to them that every person matters and we need to respect what their decisions are and we need to see their good side instead of their subjectivity. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jacob. And I agree with you. So the value of is important. Maybe other participants give opinion. Okay, give opportunity to Mr. Adi and
Okay.
give opinion about how to
Hmm.
educate our children for recognizing the value of a moral.
Okay, teaching my children about the cows and the consequences is how the way I what is that, educate them and like them to knowing the morality itself. For example, when they want to do such as free sex, when they want to do drugs, they want to drunk, they want to do whatever is it, you just teach them, hey, this is the consequences. When you don't take the responsibility of that, don't do that. When you're able for having rapist, for example, uh, experience the bad consequences that will be experienced by you, you are just do it and you still consider it is good for you. And for me, I'm just giving a path direction through my experience, for example, through the knowledge that I know, uh, for not intervening, for create fundamental thinking to my children that they can choose which better to them. So I do agree with the previous statements. So that's why, for me, the pivotal thing aspect is teaching the cause and the consequences first about that, because morality is not coming directly from the people subjectivity. Directly, they are coming indigenously from the experience that has been happening, from the consequences that happening in society, from the many interactions of human relation, and that's why we should introduce them with the cause and consequences. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Maybe other participant give opinion about it. Okay, I give up opportunity to Miss Fabian, Miss or Mister.
Okay, thank you, Miss Zulfa, for my opportunities. Uh, how to educate our children for recognize the value of moral. Firstly, I think uh, the firstly we must teach their parents because a children a copy paste based their parents. So if their parents don't have a good moral, I think their children will do what their parents do, because every time, every day, the children always look what their parents do. For example, if your parent always fight, always fighting every day, so your children will do that in their circle, like they will fight with their friends and the others. So if secondly, if we want to teach our children to get moral value, we must the basic we must teach about the respect, because if our children don't have respect in their habitual, they will be arrogant with the others. So for example, if they meet someone they know in the way in the street, or they visit someone, they must say greeting, or if they are get mistakes, they must say sorry. And yeah, just that from me. Thank you very much.
Um, Thank you very much for all participants answer it. But I won't listen to Mrs. or ladies to give opinion about topic discussion in the night. Hello, ladies. Are you in the room? Please,
Miss Ray raises her hand. Choose her,
oh,
Zulfa.
okay. Okay, Miss Anna, give your opinion about educate our children for recognizing the value of a moral. How to educate?
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good
Thank
evening.
you so much for this opportunity, Ms. Zulfa. Um, what's that? Maybe just sharing you. In my point of view, how to with that recognize our children about value or moral. Maybe it will be better if we understand and know about our value or moral before we educate them about that. And after we understand about that, we have to implement the value and moral also, because the children are the good imitators. Most likely they would be easy to do and understand about that. As far as I know, there are a lot of ways to educate them about value and moral. For the example, maybe we could make a storytelling, or we could watch a movie together, or we could play games with our children, and all of that are the fun way to educate them because the children really like that way to learn. And moreover, the parents must decide the several value or moral that will be implemented. I mean, the mother and the father must have the same principle. Because of that, the children wouldn't be confused to implement all of that, and it will be better if they support each other to be better than before, and they could be the good role model for their children. And uh, for the educate what's that, maybe, yeah, for make for educate our children, maybe that is all. Yeah, that is all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anna. I get point of view for your opinion. Now about moral and ethics, the first and the second give example and educates to children. Okay, maybe other participant. Okay, I choose Mr. Eka. Mr. Eka, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I will start with some some phrase that say educate your children according to their era. I think it's on our Quran, right? So maybe it's a good way to start how to educate our children in the future, because I don't have children right now, so I think I don't have any clue how to educate them. But in my view, in my opinion, what I based on my based on my experience, I see that myself really represented my father's. For example, how I talk, how I the way I how do you say it, like the way I meet people and then talk to them, and then the way I think is really represented my father, something like that. So when we want to start introduce to our children about moral value, I think we should know that we should know how they how do you say their life situation, how the environment they they involve in there, so we can create something that makes them understand more easier to understand about moral. For example, they always teach us about to respect, to love, and something. But when when it comes to the practical, it's really different. So just like who said it, that we just copy paste our parents. And it's true, because most of child, they don't listen. I think millennial and alpha generation, they don't listen, but they copy what their parents do, or what how to say it, like the symbol, the people, the person that he 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 idolize more than their people, for example. So I think how to educate or how to introduce them about moral value is based on the parents. So the parents is the key, because the first education is start from the family. So I think the parents or us, if we have brothers, little brothers, something that we know about their era. For example, my era and my little brother era is really different. So we don't have a lot of talk deep talk, something like how's your life, how's your education, how's your romantic relationship, something like that. So I start to wants to tell him about the moral value, or how to make engagement with others, something like that. So I think I learned about their era too. So I think the best option to educate and recognizing the moral values based on us as a parent, based on their era they involve, something like that. So I think it's connected with the ethics before the slide before that say ethics is the tools to prove what's good and what's bad, something like that. So I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Eka. After Mr. Eka, I give opportunity to Mr. Faiz. Mr. Faiz, times is yours.
So many opportunities that you give toward others. I really appreciate it. You also rich of opportunities, Mizu. Thank you. Anyway, okay. Okay, so yeah, how to educate our children for recognizing the value of moral. Recognizing it means the capability to distinguish one from another. We can separate the idea of positivism and negativism at the same time. I like to deduce what has been said by every person before me said something about giving more practical example toward the model itself rather than giving only theorems. I think that's really good. Yeah. And that's actually the challenge of the parents right now. So I partly disagree with what Brother Eka in regard to millennial generation right now becomes more silent or hard to become a good listener because they tend to be regarded by their parents. So we're gonna judge the child. We blame the parents because at the same time as a parent we can choose whether or not we should raise a child, but the child failed to choose whose parent, who is what kind of parents will be born from. Okay, I think this is really crucial to understand because uh, it's a little bit tricky and it's a challenge for parents as well because they need to support their family as well. They need to meet the deadlines just to make sure that they can still face tomorrow. And this is something to implement since we live in the recession, in the economic crisis, especially amidst the pandemic, when the government's unable to restore the well-being of society, both mentally and economically. So I'd rather say that proper environments is something more crucial rather than giving example. We cannot rely on the parents themselves anymore. We need to change the environment because let's say the parents themselves were already giving up on the children. They focus on working. Okay, so literally what's going to impact the children the most should be their environment, their acquaintances they get along with every day, every second. So literally, we play PUBG for example, and I do listen to so many people like anjim, anjim, anjim. Of course, literally, I will copy paste that style, right? Okay, so yeah, basically something that we often heard, something we often saw, is going to remarkable make you, even though it's wrong, but it's around us doing the same thing, it can be right. It is positive thing to do. We bring up that kinds of positivism based on literally environment. So we need to change the environments of our children in the future. And if we regard ourselves as the parents that unable to teach closely the children, it means we need to, yeah, probably like put them in Islamic boarding school. so, so yeah, you'll be safe. I mean, literally, your heart will be like steady and comfortable because there's somebody over there that totally put their utmost attention to what your children, and you can just focus on earning money and doing your best at working, and also visitation probably for once in a month, and that's really cool because you're at Islamic boarding school or at any boarding school, you're literally unable to use electric equipment, and it will be limited. And of course, you will be safe from doing games, wasting time, and chatting with some lovers or speak on like that. So you're going to fulfill your time for all positive things that you can do while you become teenagers. And this is something crucial because everything that had been everything that we have been receiving up to this time is actually the amounting of the amounts or the accumulations of every effort that we have done in the past. Okay, so we can speak. I can speak English like this because I put so many efforts when I was in senior high school. So it's literally coming back to me. What I have been done in the past, come back to me in the future. I think that's what we thank you.
Okay, what is your opinion? Um, very to imagine about impact moral education of the value of the moral. So I will give one opportunity to Mr. Ahmad.
Okay, thank you for Miss Zulfa for this precious opportunity for me. To be honest, I haven't had any child, or even children. So it will be so hard question in my life, maybe because in this circumstance I haven't faced the real condition. Maybe it will be so idealistic, maybe, but maybe not. Something that I will not do for them is allow them to, or maybe give them an order to read many books about moral. That is something that I will not do for them. Probably I will enhance their imagination with the storytelling every night about the experience from the other people. That is something that I will share to them to educate them preliminary. And then something that I will do to this area is make them involved in my problem. I mean, when they know about the problem that faced by their parents, they will think about something that actually done in the society, in the real life. So they will judge and they will see how their parents manage the situation. So by this circumstance, they will stand as their own self and they can decide as their morality talk about. Because I believe that morality is not about the positivity or maybe something that negative of the society, but moral is talk about the value from every people, from every individual. Maybe in the perspective of me as the parents could be positive of something, but for them maybe could be negative. And I will not give a prohibition or maybe any force to do it. And remember, I haven't had any children. Maybe this idealistic opinion will be changed after I have children, maybe. and uh, and the third is besides imitate me and give experience from the other people, maybe I will make them face many circumstances of life it will not about the circumstance of a well or the in the well in the well society, or maybe in the society that everything is well, but I need to teach them about how to live in the society that is broken, how to live and see about the broken society. Maybe they will think about the other perspective. So it will acknowledge them more to face the harsh of the future. And that is something in my idealistic opinion, because now I haven't had any children. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed, for your opinion about how to educate our children for recognizing the value of moral. Interesting the topic, and I appreciate for all participants to give imagination about have children, and I hope this discussion not just in uh, just not just talk about it, but give example and impact in environment. So I hope is uh, this next discussion give reflection for me on for all participants. If give example moral education and support children in our environment, because children today is boring in pandemic. Uh, Children want to fun learn, want to learn more and give creativity can be more and consistently, but in pandemic give down motivation to learn. So we young people can be can be support not just parent but brother or sister in your family, give your vitamin or spirit. Maybe about it, I want apologies in the night, and thank you very much for all participants following this discussion start to finish. Mr. Ahmad, thank you very much. Mm, This room I give Mr. Ahmad back, and maybe closing statement by Mr.
Wait. Please don't just me who gives the closing statement. Maybe the whole of participants who haven't yet got the opportunity to speak up. Maybe they can give any conclusion, even though just one word. Maybe. Seems like Mr. Idriwanov, I haven't heard you. Hey.
Okay, maybe other participant give maybe Mr. Indra give closing statement or apa? Mr. Andre, maybe can you give one statement?
Everyone is everyone is boring with my points. Maybe someone is like Maisa, is like yeah, Michael, Baby. Maybe they can give a closing statement about it.
Okay.
What a great
will.
closing statement, Mr. Idre.
Yeah, the closing statement. If you want to educate your children well, you should be a president and make the older generation become the best, all the best. Mr. Eka. Bye, Mr. Eka.
Maybe Mr. Mikhail to give one statement about topic discussion in the night. Hello, Mr. Mikhail. Time is your. Give one statement. Okay, maybe Mr. Mikhail not Mikhail, sorry, Mr. Mikhail not in the room. Other participant again. Mrs. Debbie, maybe give one statement. Okay, not respond again. Mr. Abimanyu, maybe? Hello? Can you listen me, Mr. Abi? Okay, other participant again. Maybe Mr. Maisar? Mr. or Miss?
Mister.
Okay, Mr. Give one statement. In the...
Okay, hello everyone. I'm sorry I'm late to class because I have something to do in this night. So I don't have idea for this class. I just joined 10 minutes. And I just want to give a statement for the class. Thank you so much because this is the first time class, everyone. A long time ago, Mr. Indre invited me, so I just joined with this class. It is the first time. So I'm sorry, everyone. I turned off my camera because I have something to do. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Maisa Rafrianto. I'm from Bengkulu. So the other one, is it from Bengkulu or from Sumatra? Okay, that's it, miss. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Maybe Mr. Sunset? Hello, Mr. Sunset? Okay, maybe Mr. Eka give one statement.
I think I'm enough.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much again for all participants. I will closing, but I give some. Okay, You're welcome, Mr. Okay, in the next discussion, so close and I give this to Mr. Ahmad. Thank you very much to give opportunity for me.
Okay. What an amazing discussion today, and let's we take a look about a little, not a mistake, but it's related to the vocabularies, test vocabularies. Those all are a little vocabularies that I found in this discussion. Maybe a few of you do not know about the meaning. Seems like behalf is related with the interest, ya, kepentingan. Behalf is kepentingan. And then attitude, sikap. And then judging, penilaian atau menilai. Indoctrination, indoktrinasi. Kadang juga apa ya, agak mirip dengan brainwashing, tapi enggak brainwashing juga sih. Brainwashing itu kan kayak langsung apa ya, memberikan indoktrinasinya sangat kuat sekali gitu. Satirize itu menyindir, atau tease juga menyindir juga. Custom itu budaya. Kemudian ada yang apa ya, suka banget menggunakan kata mas gitu, kayak harus tuh mas banget gitu. Padahal ada juga kata yang artinya bermiripan dengan must, seperti should, ought to, atau have to, supaya bisa sedikit lebih bervariasi dalam membuat kalimat gitu, sehingga vocabulariesnya bisa lebih banyak ketika ujian IELTS. Itu aja mungkin yang bisa saya sharing kali ini. And then before we close our meeting today, probably it will be better if we have take a picture. Okay, please show off your show on. Yeah, please show your video, maybe video or what? Show your video, not show off, yeah. Your video. Okay, this it is what take picture session, yeah. Take picture session. Show your video. Are you ready? Okay, 3, 2.
Yeah.
What? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Smile. Okay, wait a minute. I will share first. Okay, once again. 3, 2, 1. Smile. Okay, those are enough. Thank you for your precious time for attending this precious discussion. And maybe you face many negativity, maybe the lack of the well of this discussion. We will say sorry for that, and hopefully it will enhance your speaking to be much better again for your better future. Better future. Okay, before we close our meeting, let's we say our yell. What is our yell? I forgot.
Yesterday.
Yesterday you said tomorrow, yeah. Yesterday you
Today
said
we
tomorrow.
say
When I say Ota community, you said yesterday. You said tomorrow. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Ota community.
Hail.
Yesterday you
Yesterday you said tomorrow.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you for your time, and
Thank
see you
you so
next
much,
week.
Ota.
Sayonara.
Yeah, thank you. See ya.
See you. When I say